Hi Eric. Just wondering if there's any fresh knocks after the game on Wednesday, and whether Anthony, Martial or McTominay could be available on Sunday.
The last I don't expect, but we have some days obviously, but I don't expect it, and if I can oversee it till now, I don't see any new problems coming up.
With the three of them, can you see them being available for the Barcelona match, or is it longer term than that?
I think same answer is, I can't say for 100%, but I don't expect it.
Eric, sorry, just going across. The injuries, obviously you've got some longer term ones, but is that a consequence of playing so many matches, and with the Barcelona games coming up as well, and then you've got an FA Cup game, could that have a detrimental effect on your season, because you're the only team that's still going for 4 things?
Yeah. Injury, so if you see Christian Eriksen, you can't see that as an impact from the tough season, but it's a tough season with the World Cup in between, and a lot of load, I think overload from the players, and that's quite clear, and I think that process is already longer term going on, that the load on the players is too much.
I mean, people spoke before the World Cup about the impact that the World Cup could have on the domestic season. Is it going to have an impact on Manchester United in terms of how you're able to train the players, the number of players you've got available, whether players are tired and you're going to have to push them through anyway?
Yeah, but also, I say, Christian Eriksen, you can't put that under that reason. Martial, you can't put that under that reason. So it's also really individual how we can see it and how we find reasons why things happen. But also injuries, and that's if you play top football, you go across limits, and injuries will coming up. That's also a normal issue, I would say.
I noticed with interest your comments regarding Jadon Sancho coming back last night, scoring. Obviously, Marcus Rashford has been reinvigorated this season, certainly his form coming back from the World Cup. I wonder how much pride you and your coaching staff take from working with young talented players like that and overcoming difficult situations and then seeing them succeed.
That makes this job so exciting. It's wonderful to work with young people and to get the best out of them. But finally, they have to do it by themselves. But sometimes, they need motivation. Sometimes they need a push. Sometimes they need interaction. Sometimes they need also inspiration of a plan.
And I mean, clearly you were less than happy with the way you started both halves last night, but did you learn something about this group of players as well in the way they ultimately responded? Yeah,
of course. I think it's not easy. You have to replace some players, so the routines are not there. That's obvious. So we had the combination over the right last week was really well with Aaron and with Anthony, and now was a new combination. In the holding midfield position, we have to bring another player there. On the Christian Eriksen falls away, so the whole midfield construction is new. That takes time to get in the routines again, and that takes games, and that was obvious yesterday. But still, I think then we played quite well. But both starts killed a little bit our game.
Thank you.
Eric, you said the other day that Alejandro Garnacho's development had been somewhat unexpected. How would you assess the way he's played since the World Cup?
I think he's doing well, and he has an impact on our game. I think he's a threat. Also yesterday, he had good actions, was lively, created chances, but had to score. And finally, it's about that you have an effect. And as a striker, you have to be on that list, the scoring list, assist list, key action list, to have the right impact. And of course, we expect them also do the other stuff, but that is the base stuff is also important, and if you can't do the others, the extra, then you have to do that so that is your base function. But at Man United player, we expect you to have an impact, to influence the score, to influence the result, to influence a positive influence on the game by scoring goals and having assist.
Yeah. And when he came off last night, he seemed quite frustrated. He seemed to, like, when you were trying to console him or explain, he seemed to like flick his hand as if to dismiss you. Did you notice that?
No.
And he seemed very frustrated when he came off against Palace as well. Does he have to, I mean, he's only 18, he's only starting in the game, does he have to calm down a bit and understand these are decisions you have to make?
But I don't think it's about that he doesn't understand the decision. He's quite emotional. That is his strength. He's bringing in the game. He wants to win. He wants to play football. He wants to, and he doesn't want to miss any minute. And I think that's a cool thing. He's totally convinced about himself. That's a good thing. You need that under the biggest stress factors that you have to perform, and he's doing. And he wants to contribute till the end. But he accepts decisions. And yeah, team is always above everything, and I think he knows that. And I think, yeah, when he's coming off that emotion and that frustration is not against that, that he's not accepting it.
But you've always been very positive about the way he runs with players. He always seems to have a very positive attitude and isn't afraid to try things, which can always make a difference in a game.
Yeah, I think have to. All the players have to be brave, and what you say, to try, as long as it's in the interest of the team. And that is what he's doing quite well, but because he's taking players on, he's outplayed them, he's creating chances. From yesterday, yeah, he should have scored.
Last question, Peter.
Erik, good afternoon. Two big European nights coming up in prospect against Barcelona in the Europa League. Fresh reports today, though, of a European Super League, a new structure. Where do you stand? Are you an advocate of the fact that European football has to move on and has to change, or are you a traditional supporter of the Champions League?
I'm aware of the dynamic, what's going on in international football. But if I see if they're coming up new ideas, I have to have a look in it, and then I will make an opinion. So I'm not aware, because we're playing so many games in this moment. We have to develop this team. We have some problems with new players to bring in. So that's where my focus point is, and therefore I need all my energy. And about new European competitions, other people in this club will have a look in it and will inform me if the time is there, and if the moment is there. We have to make maybe decisions, but decisions is up to the club.
But the current structure, though, no real issues with it as far as you're concerned?
I think the current structure is good, but I think there will always be initiatives to make it better, to make the football better. And I think that's what life is. I think people always want to construct better, but which is a good thing, because if it's in favor of the football, it's always good.